What's up, family? Man, I want to continue back with our conversation about the 12 laws of the universe. And today we're going to pick up with the fifth law, the law of inspired action. The law of inspired action. We don't realize how important this law is. We don't. We have no clue. And it's a trip because you guys hear me talk a lot about divine timing. Divine timing. You can't understand divine timing if you really don't understand the law of inspired action. They go hand in hand. You know what I mean? They go hand in hand. We have to learn. You guys hear me talking a lot about, man, we have to learn how to get outside of our head and get back down into our gut. It's our gut area where, man, where God speaks to us. Because we don't know any better. We think God speaks to our mind. That's all ego crap. We have to learn to get back to our gut. There's a brain in our gut. There's a brain in our hearts. And there's this lopsided, twisted brain up here. You know what I mean? Stay with me. We're going to go somewhere. The law of inspired action. See, we get inspired. Some of you get inspired because you see a badass looking woman. Some of you get inspired because you see a handsome guy. Some of you get inspired because you see a beautiful car, or you see a bag, or you see nice clothes. What is it that inspires you? And why does that inspire you? See, I hear so many people talking to me about, man, when am I going to find my queen? When am I going to find my king? Most people don't find their true king and queen because they've never learned to go back down into their gut. They've never learned to trust their intuition. See, God will lead you, talking about inspired action. God will lead you to do something. And it doesn't really make sense. Man, why do I got to pack up and move? Why do I got to go do the whoop, do the whoop? All my peoples are right here. My family, my friends, everybody's right here. Why do I got to move to this raggedy ass bumfuck city? Why do I got to move to this dirty ass state? We come up with all these fucking things of why do I got to take this job halfway across the world, all the way over here, and why do I got to do it? Why do I got to start my own business? And why do I got to lead this company and I get great pay and and the benefits? There's the law of inspired action. Inspired action. See, oftentimes God will inspire us. God will put something in our heart, in our gut. God will put something and give us something and tell us to do something. And it doesn't make sense to us. So we got to have faith. It doesn't make sense. And most of the times we won't do it because it's not making sense to our logical brain, to this brain up here. And because it doesn't make sense to this brain, we won't do it. And when you don't follow the leading of God, universe source, you can expect things to work out for you. When you don't follow the leading or the direction of source, God, the Most High, you can expect to find your king or your queen. See, oftentimes they're inspiring us, they're guiding us, they're leading us to a different place. Why? Because that's where our king is at. That's where our queen is at. That's where our next hookup is at. When I'm talking hookup for an idea, hookup for a brainstorm, hookup for, man, let's work together, let's do woo, do, do, man, we're gonna start this company, we're gonna do this. That's where the next place for our life, for our journey is supposed to be. But we don't have that inspiration. We're not motivated to do anything except smoke and drink and fuck and chase the bag. We chase money, but we don't chase God. We chase money, we chase looking successful, but we don't pursue God. We have no understanding that, man, if I humble myself, if I get outside of my ego, if I get outside of my brain up here and get in alignment with God's source, universe, man, the world opens up to me. I'm tapped into divine timing. I'll meet the right person at the right time because I'm at the right place at the right time. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing at this time. See, so many of us, we trying to do the same shit we've done for the last 15, 20, 30 years. And we're frustrated because it ain't working. We're frustrated because we ain't going nowhere. We ain't accomplishing anything. That was for that season. And see, that's one of the greatest tragedies about being successful. Stay with me. You blow up or you get recognized, and because you get that attention, you keep trying to repeat the same process. You keep trying to do the same thing. Why? Because it brought you some notoriety. It brought you some attention. And so you think, man, I just got to do this harder. I'll just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over, but I'll do it more. And that's not what you need for your next season. That's not what you need to be doing right now at this particular time. I'm about the law of inspired action. Don't just be doing shit just to be doing it. See, so many of us, we're so fucking busy doing stupid, petty ass shit that we're completely out of alignment. We're so busy doing stupid shit and doing good shit that we're not where we're supposed to be at. We miss our hookup. We miss that meeting we were supposed to have. We miss the opportunity to see our king or our queen because we're so busy doing shit that ain't got shit to do with the shit we're supposed to be doing. We're so busy. We're so preoccupied. We're so distracted. We're trying to accomplish shit, trying to look a certain way, trying to sound a certain way, that we missed our divine inspiration. We missed that divine timing. We missed that divine meeting. You're supposed to be on the bus that day, at that time. And I know that you're mad and frustrated because, man, I missed my car ride, my car broke down, but I was supposed to be here at this time. I was supposed to meet this person at this time. Divine inspiration. What are you doing? See, there's a difference with being busy and doing divine work. There's a difference with being preoccupied and just working a job as opposed to doing stuff that's inspirational, as opposed to doing stuff that God has you to do at that particular time, at that particular place. And you can only know that you're supposed to be doing this. You can only know that this is divine timing, this is divine work when you're tapped in to source, to God, the Most High, when you're in alignment. See, as long as I'm distracted, as long as I'm disconnected, but I got religion, man, I don't have that divine intervention. I don't have that divine timing. I don't have that divine or that inspiration. You know what I mean? It's only by being plugged into God, source, the universe. And the trip is, I still don't know what's going to happen. If he told me to move over here, I don't know what's going to happen over there. You don't know what's going to happen. We just know, man, it's my gut, my inspiration. You know what I mean? My gut, my intuition. The voice of God is speaking to me and is guiding me and directing me to do this over here. To do this over here. But it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to your brain, your logic brain. Now you have to trust. Now you have to trust the process. We fail over and over and over and over and over because we're not listening to God. Because we're not plugged in to Source Universe. And because we're not plugged in, we're not in alignment. And because you're not in alignment, you're violating the law of inspiration. The law of inspired action. Because you can only have inspired action by being plugged in, by being tapped in. And see, the trick is sometimes that law of inspired action is to bless somebody. It's to give somebody something. But see, that doesn't make sense to our brain, to our logic. Oh, hell nah, I'm not giving this motherfucker $500. This motherfucker, fuck that. That doesn't make sense to me. I've worked too hard for this money, and I've been through too much to get this money, and and I'm not doing it. Hell to the nah, I'm not doing this shit. Fuck this, you got me fucked. Da, 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 da. And you just completely missed it because God, Source Universe, trying to give you that inspired action. It's guiding you to take this inspired action to bless somebody else. But you don't want to look like a sap. You don't want to look like a fool. You don't want to look like a sucker. It doesn't make logical sense to do this right here. Why would I send this person $1,000? Why would I get this person a meal or whatever it is that God told you to do for them? Why would I do that? I don't know what they're gonna do with that, and and they might use it for drugs, and they might use it for chasing hoes, and we completely miss it. Your job is to trust the process. Your job is to trust your gut instinct. Your job is to do and follow the leading of, some say, the Holy Spirit, God, Source, the universe within you. Why? Because by you doing this right here, you have no idea what this person's supposed to do because it's none of your business. Your job is just to be a vehicle, just to be a blessing for them. They're there waiting for you. They're there because you guys are supposed to have this rendezvous, this divine meeting. You were supposed to be a hookup for them. You were supposed to be a plug for them. God chose you to be a plug for them. But you got in your fucking ego. Hell nah, I ain't doing that, and I ain't that, and you completely cut off your blessing. Because God blessed you so that you could be a blessing to this person here. And now you don't want to fulfill your end of the obligation or your responsibility. Because it doesn't make sense to you. The law of inspired action. It's not going to make sense to you always. Most of the time, it's not. I remember a story in the Bible where they had to pay taxes. Jesus and the disciples had to pay some taxes. And Jesus told the guys, man, go fish. Go catch this fish. Go to this particular spot and go fishing. And when you catch this big fish, open up his mouth. That doesn't make sense to us. The fuck? What the fuck does catching a fucking fish got to do with paying taxes? We gotta pay render unto Caesar what Caesar's. We gotta pay fucking taxes, and this motherfucker tell me to go fish? How the fuck am I gonna go fish and open up a fish mouth and still pay Caesar? It's not logical. It's not practical. And again, understand, the majority of the people that he was talking to when he said go fish were fishermen. That was their trade. That's what they did. That's how they made their money. That was their livelihood before they stopped and followed him. They were fishermen. The majority of the people he was talking to at that time. You can't imagine how many fish they've got. And not one fish was able to pay Caesar what they owed Caesar. Now this motherfucker telling them to go catch this fish and open up his mouth and render unto Caesar what Caesar's. It doesn't make sense. It's not practical. It's not logical. And they did it. Opened up the fish's mouth, and there was a coin where they could render unto Caesar what was Caesar's. Inspired action. The trip is, had they not went fishing where he told them to, had they not followed his leading and went fishing, they wouldn't have found that coin. They wouldn't have been able to pay their taxes. Inspired action requires you to trust the process. Inspired action requires you to have faith. You got to have faith. You have to believe that, man, okay, I don't understand why I'm doing this. It doesn't make sense to me. It goes against everything that I think, everything that I know to do. But my gut is saying do it. Because you don't know what your actions are going to do for somebody else. That simple act may be the catalyst to completely change their life. That simple act may be the catalyst to stop them from committing suicide, to make them feel loved, to make them feel valued, to make them feel like they're important, that they matter. Inspired action. The law of inspired action. Not just action, because the great majority of us are busy not doing shit. The great majority of us are busy doing stupid shit. Inspired action. Not inspired because you're fucking horny. Not inspired because you're fucking desperate. Not inspired because you have ulterior motives. But inspired by God, by Source, the Most High Universe. The law of inspired action. Man, I hope and pray that I said something to bless you, to encourage you, to challenge your way of thinking. We have to grow up. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Just because you don't understand or don't know about the 12 laws of the universe doesn't mean that they don't exist. And just because you don't know that you're violating them doesn't mean that you're not violating them. You're going to have to pay the price for your actions. Man, thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.